All right. Well, the I am statement of Jesus from the Gospel of John that I've chosen to talk about is John 11:25 through 26. And it says this: Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even though he dies, and whoever lives and believes in me will never die. This verse is especially significant to me in light of past events. My dad was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer on January 10th, and on January 25th, just 15 days later, he passed away. And I guess the big reason for me is that this was my dad's hope, that because of the life, the resurrection and the life in Jesus, that even though my dad isn't with us anymore, he's still alive, just not here. In fact, I think it's D.L. Moody who said that the day that you hear that I've passed, that I'm dead, don't believe them, for it's not true. In fact, in that moment that I pass from this life into the next, I'll be more alive then than I ever was here on this earth. And that's the same thing for my dad. That was his hope. That's our hope. And so, that's the thing that's been guiding me as I go through this time. And for me, I feel like God's just been ushering me into the light, into the truth of relating rightly with Him. In fact, I've found a journal entry from 5 years ago when me and my dad actually sat down and talked about if his passing should ever happen, what he wanted me to do. And in a little inclusio with that, I wrote a little prayer to God saying, God, I never want this to happen. But if it does, then please steady my heart, that I wouldn't lose sight of you. And so, I've been able to look back and see how God has done that, all because of this verse, the hope of salvation, but more so the hope of the resurrection and the life after we pass from this body. And so, along with John's overall theme and movement within John, there's this call for us to relate with God correctly. But then there's also this call for us in 1 John to relate with others correctly. And I'm excited, but it's also bittersweet that this weekend is my dad's memorial. Exciting that I get to be part of what God is doing and using my dad's life to call people to recognize who He is, that Jesus Christ was a real man who lived here and who through His work on the cross was ushering us into right relationship with God. And I get to be part of that too, in celebrating my dad's life, to call others into the light. And fundamentally, it's all because of who God is, right? That this is, that all of this is possible. It keeps on coming back to who Jesus is in Scripture. And as I thought about that even more so, it's because of who He's been in my life. And that's all founded on Scripture. But let me put it to you this way. I've had friends, family, other people in my life come up and say, it's okay to be angry with God. And I just can't get my mind or heart around really saying that, let alone believing it. And I tell them this: I can't be angry at God, because from the moment that He took my father, He's provided everything that we've needed since. Whether it was help around the house to replace old appliances or financial help, He has provided in abundance. And so, that's why that verse is significant to me. It kind of helps steady the boat, even in the recent events, losing my father and just feeling like we're going through a storm as a family. Knowing that Christ is the resurrection, that He is life, helps to keep the boat steady in the middle of the storm. Thank you.